Hello students, welcome to the online session organized by Department of Collegiate and Technical Education under Learning Management System. In this session, we are going to discuss rate analysis, which is Unit 3 of Estimation and Costing subject in 5th semester Civil Engineering. In this session, we are going to discuss teak wood fully paneled door measuring 1.10 meter into 2 meter and fully glazed double shutter window of size 1 meter into 1.5 meter. So before doing the rate analysis of door, let us understand the components of a door. So it is basically made up of two major components. One is the frame and the other one is the shutter. In frame, we have one horizontal member called as the head and two vertical members called as the vertical posts. In a shutter, we have vertical members called as stile. This is a two shutter door and as such we have four stiles. Also, this door has horizontal members called as rails. This is called as the top rail, this is the lock rail and this is the bottom rail. Also, we have panels which are 4 in number. So this is a 4-paneled 2-shutter door. So in order to complete rate analysis, we not only require the wood quantity but also we require the door fixtures such as the L drop, the handle, the hinge which is used to secure the door shutter to the door frame, the tower bolt, the door lock, the door stopper and the hold fast. Hold fast is used to secure the door frame to the masonry. So let us start with the rate analysis of fully paneled door. So before starting the rate analysis, let us study the schematic diagram in detail first. So as you can see, you have head and two vertical posts which makes up the frame of the door, and also we have shutter with four stiles. Stile number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is wrongly marked as frame. So please make the changes, students. So also we have horizontal members called as rails, top rail, lock rail and bottom rail. So let us start with the estimation of wood quantity first. So let us go one by one. So let us start with the frame. In frame we have vertical post and head. So vertical post, as you can see, the height of the door is given as 2 meter. So we will take 2 meter plus 0.10 meter. Why is this 10 meter, 0.10 meter? This is because we are taking 10 centimeter bearing inside the floor to account for the floor finishing. So and thus the length of the vertical post becomes 2.10 meter. Next, let us go to the length of the head. So as you can see, there is a bearing of 150 mm, which is nothing but 0.15 meter. This bearing is given to secure the door frame to the masonry. So and as such the length of the head becomes 1.40 meter. As you can see, 1.40 meter. So after finishing the length of head and vertical post, let us come to the length of stile, which is part of shutter. So length of stile. So as you can see, the height of the door is given as 2 meter. So I have to deduct this 80 millimeter, which is the depth of the head, to get the length of the stile. Because I need this length only up till this point. So 2 minus 80 millimeter, which is nothing but 0.08 meters, which becomes 1.92 meters. So we have got the length of the stile. So next is the length of the rail. So rail, what is the length of the rail? So as you can see, so we have the width of the door. Width of the door is given as 1.10 meter. But this 1.10 meter also includes the width of the vertical post or the frame, which is nothing but 0.1 mm. So this is, we have to, in order to get the length of the rail, we have to deduct the width of the vertical post, which is nothing but 0.1 meter. So we have two sides. So I am going to deduct 2 into 0.1. 100 mm is nothing but 0.1 meter. So now after deducting the two sides of the vertical post, so I have got this value. So what if I have to get the length of the rail in one shutter, exactly the length of rail in one shutter? So then I just have to divide this by 2. So as such we get 1.10 minus 2 into 2 into 0.1 divided by 2, we get 0.5 meter. So as such we get the length of rail as 0.5 meter here, 0.5 meter here. Okay. So after this, after the length of the rail, next let us come to the width and length of the panel. So this is the width and this is the length of the panel. So we have to calculate the width of the length of the panel. So as you know, we have got the length of the rail just now, which is nothing but 0.45 meter. So how to get the width of the panel now? So as you can see, it is simple. We have to just deduct this and this width, which is nothing but the width of the stile, which is 120 mm. So what we have to do, 0.45 meter minus, so there are 2, so I will do minus 2 into 0.12 meter, 0.12 meter. So not only this, so in order to secure this panel to the stile, so we give a bearing of 0.07 meter or 7 centimeter. So why is this bearing required? To secure the panel to the groove of the stile. So we give this extra 0.07 meter of bearing, which you can see here. So this works out to be 0.28 meter. So after calculating the width of the panel, so let us next calculate the length of the panel. So how to calculate the length of the panel? So as you can see, the height of the door is given as 2 meter. So next I will do minus, I will deduct this 80 mm first, which is nothing but 0.08. Next I will deduct the breadth of the rails, all the three rails, the breadth of the rails. So how much is the breadth of the rail? Here we can see 150 mm, which is nothing but 0.15 meter, which is same in all the rails. So then we do minus, so there are three rails, three set of rails, so we do minus 3 into 0.15 also. So as this is divided into two sides, I will again divide this by 2 so that I will get the exact length of only one panel. So I will get the exact length of only one panel. So this works out to be, and plus again to secure the panel to the rails, we have to give an additional bearing of 6.5 centimeter or 0.065 meter, which works out to be 0.80 meter. So this length of the panel became 0.80 meter. So we have worked out completely the wood quantity required for the rate analysis of door. So let us tabulate whatever we have got by working out. So as you can see, this is the table consists of the particulars, which is the frame or shutter. So and it has number, length, breadth, depth and quantity. As you can see, frame has vertical post and head. We have two vertical post and head. So the vertical post length we have calculated as 2.10, and the breadth, what is the breadth? So breadth is 0.10. Which is that breadth? This is the breadth, 100 mm. So this is the breadth of the vertical post, which is 0.1. So what is the depth? Depth, which we can't see here. So this is the depth. This is the depth of this frame, which is nothing but 80 mm. So as such, the depth becomes 0.08. So and basically the head and the vertical post are usually kept same. The dimensions are kept same, even. This is 180 mm, and if you want to see the breadth of the head, it will just look like this. So this becomes the breadth of the head. As you can see, this becomes the breadth of the head. So the depth is same as the frame, which is 80 mm. Okay. So after calculating the after tabulating the frame members, let us tabulate the shutter members. So we have calculated style. So we can see there are 4 number of styles, and we have calculated the length as 1.92, and also the style breadth is 0.12. Where is 0.12? So 120 mm. So the breadth is 120 mm, nothing but 0.12 meter, and the depth is 40 40 mm, which is nothing but 0.04 meter. So the depth is 40 mm. So if you want to visualize this style, so it will just look like this. As you can see, this will be the 40 mm. This dimension will be 40 mm in the style, and this dimension will be how much? 120 mm. So 120 mm into 40 mm. So the same way you can visualize for the frame. Okay. So like this. So we have entered the depth column as 0.04 meter. So let us come to the rail. So rail. So length of the rail we have calculated as 0.45 meter, and we have 6 number of rails. 6 because we have calculated the length individually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have put 6, length of 0.45 mm, and also we saw that the breadth of the rock rail is 150 mm or 0.15 meter, which is same for all the rails, that is top rail, lock rail and bottom rail. So we have breadth entered as 0.5 mm and the depth same as the lock rail, style and panel. So as you can observe, the depth of the shutter is same and the depth of the frame is same. So I will enter the depth of the rail as 0.04 meter. Next we have 4 panels, 1, 2, 3, 4 panels, and we have calculated the length or the width. In this case we call it as width as 0.28 meter, and next the breadth as 0.35 0.80 meter. Or in this case height. So we have calculated it as height, but we are entering it as breadth in this column. So next, the depth is same, which is 40 mm. So after entering all the dimensions, we just multiply number, length, breadth, depth to get the quantities. And finally, we add up all the quantity to get the total wood required, which is 0.134 cubic meter. So after calculating the wood quantity, let us tabulate to find out the rate per unit. So next, so we have to tabulate the materials first. So let us take the teak wood, which we have calculated as 0.134 cubic meter with a rate of 1,60,000 per cubic meter. So which becomes 21,440. Likewise, we tabulate all the other fixtures as well. So hinges, we need 6 numbers, L drop 1 number, tower bolt 2 numbers. So tower bolt we need 2 for the upper part here and 1 for the lower part here, and as thus there are 2 different sizes of tower bolt, and handle to open the doors, and hold fast, as we know hold fast is used to secure the frame to the masonry, and door lock, door stopper. Sundries is nothing but extra items. So such as you can take for woodwork, the glue can be a sundry, an extra item which is usually kept as lump sum. So next we have to tabulate the labor. So labor, so 3.5 number of carpenter and 3.5 number of carpenter assistant. So you might be wondering what is this half number. As you know, so we calculate the labor in terms of working for 8 hours per day. So if we are taking it as half, it means a labor is working only for half a day, that is 4 hours. That is why we have this number as half. Okay, so how do you get this quantity? Do we have to memorize this quantity, 3.5 numbers? Yes, you have to memorize this quantity because these numbers are based on empirical experiments. So we have to remember this quantity for this size, that is 2.2 square meter of teak wood work. We need 3.5 number of carpenters and 3.5 number of carpenter assistants. So after tabulating the materials and the labor, we finally work out the total cost required to do the rate analysis. So after that, we give a profit and overhead of 10% for the contractor, which is 2,898, and the total becomes 31,878. So after that, to calculate the rate per square meter, we just have to divide the grand total by the 2.2 square meter. Why 2.2 square meter? Because we are doing the rate analysis for 2.2 square meter. So, and thus the final output is 14,500 rupees per square meter. This is the cost required for unit quantity of work. Okay, so after this, let us move to the next content of this session, which is window. So before going into the rate analysis of window, let us understand the components of window, which are head, which is the horizontal member. Here we have sill, which is also the horizontal member, but the bottom horizontal member. We have same vertical posts, which is part of the frame, and we have hinge, which is used to secure the shutter to the frame. We have the vertical member of the shutter called as the stile, and we have the horizontal member called as the mullion, and also we have panels here in the form of glazed panels or glass windows. Okay. So let us start with the rate analysis of double shutter window. So as you can see, there is a head, there is a sill, and there are two vertical posts. And also we have shutter comprising of stile 1, 2, 3 and 4 stiles, and rails 1, 2, 3, 4 on one shutter and 4 on the other, so total of 8 rails and 4 stiles and 6 panels of glass. Okay, let us start with the rate analysis. So before that, we have to estimate the wood quantity required for this window. So let us begin. So let us start with the frame first. In the frame, length of the vertical post. See, so here there is no question of floor finish. So we take the entire height of the window as the length of the vertical post. So you might be asking why we should not deduct the height of the head and sill from the height of the window to get the length of the vertical post. So 1.50 what you're so you might be thinking why we should not deduct this depth and this depth from the vertical post, because the vertical post the vertical post is secured to the head with the help of a groove, which is usually called as tenon and mortise joint. So that is why, so there will be a projection in this vertical post. So that is why we take the full length for the calculation of length of the vertical post. So that is why we've taken 1.50 meter. Next, length of the head and sill. So as we have done in the door frame, so the length will be adding the projection on either side for securing the window frame to the masonry. So this becomes 1.30 meter. So the length becomes 1.30 meter. So frame is finished. So now let us move to the shutter part. So in shutter we have stile, rails and panels. So let us start with the stile. So length of the stile. So we need stile from here to here. So how to calculate? 1.5 meter is the total height of the window. 1.5 meter to get the length of the stile. Deduct the depth of head and the depth of sill. So that's big, that becomes 1.5 minus 0.08 minus 0.08. So 1.5 minus 0.08, which becomes 1.34 meter. So the length of the stile is 1.34 meter. Next, let us calculate the length of the rail. So length of the rail. So length, as you know, so length of the rail, to calculate the length of the rail, which is from here to here, we have to deduct the width of the vertical post. We have to deduct the width of the vertical post. So how we proceed? 1 minus 2, because two sides we have 2 into what is the width of the width of the frame? 100 mm. So which is nothing but 0.1 meter. So if we do this, so we get the entire length from here till here. So if I want length till here, individual rail length, if I want, I will just divide this number by 2, where I will get an answer of 0.40 meter. So the length of the individual rail becomes 0.40 meter. Okay. So after calculating all this, let us tabulate this in a prescribed format. So the format is particulars, number, length, breadth and depth. Okay. So here same, we have frame, vertical post and head and sill, but here we have two vertical posts and also head and seal as two numbers. So the length we have calculated as 1.50 and the breadth of vertical force is 100 mm, which is nothing but 0.1 meter, and the depth is 80 mm. The depth is 80 mm as we have seen in the door frame, 80 mm. So again, that of the head and seal, same 1.30 as we have calculated here, the length, and the breadth of 0.10, which is to the top. You can visualize like this. So this part is 100 mm, which is nothing but the breadth. So the depth is same, 80 mm. Okay. So next, shutter. So let us tabulate the shutter members. So we have 4 stiles and 8 rails. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stiles and 8 rails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we have 4 stiles of length 1.34 meter and a breadth of 0.12 meter. Where is 1.12 meters? So stile we have 0.12. This is 0.12 and a depth of 0.04, 40 mm, and a depth of 40 mm. Same is the case with rails, 8. So we have calculated the length of the rail as 0.40 meter and the breadth is 0.08. You can see here it is given 80 mm into 40 mm. So the breadth is 80 mm and also the depth is 40 mm. So likewise we tabulate to calculate the total wood quantity, which is 0.080 cubic per meter. Okay. So we have left out one part in the shutter, which is the glass panels, So let us calculate the width and length of the glass panels so that we can calculate the area of the panel. Okay. So how to calculate the width of the glass panel? So as you can see, we have the length of the rail as 0.40 meter, which comes 0.40 meter. So in this we have to calculate this width. We have to take out this width. How to take out this? 0.40 minus 2 into why 2? Because we have to deduct this stile and this stile. 2 into what is the size of the stile? 120. 2 into 0.12. So also we have to keep a bearing of 1 centimeter as we did in the door shutter. Why the bearing of 1 centimeter? To make sure that the glass panel is secured to the groove of the stile. So if you calculate this, so this is 0.45 minus 2 into 0.1 plus 1 bearing centimeter. So this will become 0.17 meter. And also let us calculate the height of the panel. So how to calculate the height of the panel? So next, let us calculate the height of the panel. So 1.5 meter is the height of the window. So now I have to calculate only this height. So 1.5 meter minus this 80 mm and this 80 mm, which is minus 2 into 0.08 meter. And next what else we have to deduct from this? So we have 4 rails, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So minus 4 into how much should I deduct? 80 mm, 80 mm. So which is nothing but 0.08 divided by, so if I have to get the height of the panel, how much should I divide it by? One height of the panel, so I should divide by 3 because it is divided into 3 parts. So it becomes plus same bearing of 1 centimeter, why bearing of centimeter? To make sure that the panels are secured to the groove of the rails. So it works out to be 0.35 meter. So finally, to find out the area of the panel, so we have width and we have height, so which is nothing but 0.17 into 0.35 into, we have 6 numbers of panels, so this works out to be 0.36 square meter, sorry. So after calculating the wood quantity, so let us tabulate it. So as you can see, teak wood we have calculated as 0.080 meter and with the rate of 1,60,000 per cubic meter. So, and we have glass panels which is 0.36 square meter with costing 700 rupees per square meter, 500 to 1000 per square meter it varies. So we have taken it as 700 per square meter. We need hinges, tower bolt, handles, hold fast, MS stay in clamps. Next, sundries. Sundries, as you know, are the extra items. So MS is mild steel clamps. Okay. After that, let us see the labor required for the window work. There are 2 numbers carpenter and 2 numbers carpenter assistant. Again, we have to keep in mind that for a work of 1.5 square meter, we need 2 numbers of carpenter and 2 numbers of carpenter assistant. So after that, we calculate, we do the total quantity, and next we give a contractor a profit and overhead of 10%, which is 1670, and the grand total is finally divided by the 1.5 square meter. So finally the unit cost of window work comes out to be 12,250 rupees per square meter. Okay, students, let us see some of the multiple choice questions regarding the session we have just covered. So first question is, what do you call the top horizontal member of a door frame? Top horizontal member of a door frame. So as you can see, the answer is head. It is the top horizontal member of a door frame. Next, what is the unit of measurement of door frame? What is the unit of measurement of door frame? As they have given 4 options: square meter, meter, cubic meter, running meter. So as you can see, we have just worked out frame. We have worked out the frame. As you can see, it is in cubic meter. So the answer is cubic meter because we need volume. Next, what is used to secure the door frame or window frame to the masonry? So what is used to secure the door frame or window frame to the masonry? So we have options: hold fast, hinge, L drop, GIs, screws. So as you have guessed correctly, the answer is hold fast. Next question is, dash is the bottom horizontal member of a window frame. Bottom horizontal member of the window frame is sill. Dash is the horizontal member in a door shutter where the door locks is fixed. It is the lock rail. What is the unit of measurement for glass panels used in a window shutter? So here please don't get confused, it is square meter because 4 mm thick glass is negligible to consider it as a volume. So that is why we take only the length into breadth or the square meter. So here we don't consider the depth because the 4 mm depth is negligible. So we use it in square meter. So these are the references for this session. Thank you.